push the button before I intended to push the button, but here we are. Welcome to Paint Therapy Thursday. I intended to come grab a couple of my favorite paint brushes because I washed everything. So they're nice and clean and ready for therapy. Welcome to Paint Therapy Thursday. I'm Diane Pruitt. We are in the studio at Two Girls Treasure in Florence, South Carolina. We need this therapy this week. Boy, I tell you, school's getting out. I know more than just myself who could use a day like today, but we're going to rock it out. I have these super cute little, not little, medium size. I have these super cute medium sized metal panels, courtesy of one of our dear friends to the studio. Thank you so much, Ruth. She said, "Can you do something with these?" Absolutely. Bring them on. We have two of them, and they have an urn with some flowers in them. And I think to freshen them up, and don't judge me for painting a lot of white this week, it's been pretty nice. I think we need to go with the classic blue and white. What do you think? I'm in for it. So I have my paint, I have my brushes, and let's grab our prep and some paper towels. We're going to start with our prep as we should. Anytime you're doing a paint project with Rethink Junk Paint by Laura, this is your cleaner, your adhesion promoter, your deglosser. It is what you need to use before you start painting to make sure your surface is prepped to accept your paint and hold it. This is not just a simple green or an awesome. It's so much more than that. You can clean your furniture and your decor items with whatever you want, but be cautious. A lot of products leave a film that you cannot see, and they're not bonding agents like prep is. So make sure you start your projects with prep. Let's let that dry. I may even get out some primer. Metal, yes, you can paint metal with Rethink Junk Paint by Laura. Absolutely. This has a little bit of surface rust, as you can see by the by the rag I'm using, just this simple paper towel. But let's take a look. Let's go ahead and put some paint on, and let's see what if any of the rust pops through, then we will stop and put a primer. In the meantime, we're going to indulge in some cloud. Look what a difference already. Not a heavy coat, not too thin. You want a coat that's going to cover nicely. You don't want to overload it. You'll end up with pools of paint. Just get the paint on there, smooth it side to side so that as it lays down, you'll have a nice base coat. Does this paint cover in one coat? I don't recommend it. I recommend using at least two coats. I say at least because there are times where I have to go back and touch up. I call that a half coat. So sometimes two coats, sometimes two and a half. There have been times I have painted really dark wood, and even with the primer, that counts as a coat of paint. That's three coats. One coat of primer, two coats of paint. It simply depends on the project you're working on. We do vintage, y'all. Everything is different. Every piece has its own little quirks, and you have to figure out what works for you. We have found that this paint works for us the best because we can get a lot of projects done in a short period of time. The paint is durable, so we don't have to worry about it coming off. And our customers, because we sell, being unhappy with the product that we have done that they have purchased. So we highly, highly recommend this paint line. And just like that, I'm going to turn the fan on high. Ooh, I know why I haven't been hearing people come in. It's because the fan's on high and I don't hear the doorbell when the fan's on high. But I want to go ahead and get this dry. It's humid today, so we're going to have a few extra minutes of dry time to account for. Your ambient temperature, your air temperature, your humidity all play a factor in how long it takes for your paint to dry. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer. We have found in South Carolina that when it is extremely humid, it's going to take a few extra minutes for your paint to dry. So make sure you account for that in the time you allocate for completing your project. Coffee time. Such a good cup of coffee, honey. Thank you. He's so sweet to me. That man, oh mine, fixed my to-go cup. He fixes it almost every single morning. I think that's wonderful. All right, I want to get the other panel up here. So what I'm going to do is take this down, set it against Petunia. This will come off. And this will go on. All right, let's do it again. Prep to my right. A very liberal coat. You do not have to saturate your work, but you also want to make sure you use the prep to go over your surface. And look, you know what? It doesn't take that much. It might feel like you're using an extraordinary amount of paint prep, but you're really not. I'm going to grab a soft cloth for this one. I feel like the paper towel left a little bit of residue, so I'm just going to use a soft cloth for this, and that way I won't have residue. Ooh, that's just the surface rust, and we're fixing to cover that all up. The the cloud did a great job on that first piece, and I think let's let that dry for just a minute. I think I can take this fan from here. I can. And we're going to put it right here and we're going to dry this. Oh, there we go. We'll dry that piece while we're painting this one. Let's do it again. Yes, you can paint metal. Yes, it turns out fantastic. And the first one looks like we don't have any bleed through, but it's not it's not always an instant reaction. Sometimes it takes a few minutes before you see the bleed through. That can happen with metal, with rusty surfaces when you're painting metal. That can happen a lot with your darker woods like your cherry and your mahogany. Those have a tendency to bleed tannins through, and then you end up with an orangey finish underneath or a pink finish underneath your white paint. Rust will come through orangey, and if we get some bleed through from the rust, we will just block it with a coat of power primer. But we're going to try just the paint first. And I am painting in dual directions because we have an embossed surface. And I want to make sure I get the paint into the relief areas without it pooling And you know what pooling is, right? That's when your paint just sort of pools. Hey, good morning. Welcome in. That's where your paint just sort of pools and you cannot see it real well until after the fact. And then you end up with a glob of paint. So the cure for that is just check yourself as you're going, check your relief, make sure you get the paint in the lower sections of your relief pattern if you're doing a raised pattern, and then just smooth over it. Long, smooth strokes, because that is what will give you that near perfect finish with a paintbrush. And I'm just going to coat all the way top to bottom to make sure I pull any extra so that there's no pooling. That's fabulous. What a great big difference. I think it's lovely. Absolutely lovely. All right, let's swap these out. Let's see if this first coat is dry. I see a little bit that's not, this area is not quite dry. Well, we can't do much more than that until it is dry. So let's take the paint back up and let's super duper dry it. And I like this part because coffee break. I'm going to use the prep dampened cloth to wipe the paint off my fingers as we watch paint dry. Literally what we're doing. It's okay. I know what we could do. We could put the other transfers on the jewelry box. School's getting out. So yesterday I did not get to complete the transfers on the jewelry box we did. I did the top and it looks so cute. I hope you hopped over to our Facebook page and took a look at the finished top surface. So cute, so cute. IOD and Lexi Grenzer, thank you for such a cute and usable transfer set. Make sure you like and subscribe here, and make sure you like and follow us on Facebook so you can see the finished products. While we're waiting, the swans are back in town. The swans are back in town. These are the Iron Orchid Design swans mold sets, sold out just like that. Gotta reorder. They're here. I didn't check to see if Mel had put them on the website. I think we already had them. We also, for anyone who was looking, got the new grass ink, the green ink. We all wanted that at Christmas and it was not available. We sold out in probably October and could not restock it no matter how hard we tried. But guess what we have? We have your ink. So hop on over to our website. If you don't see it, just give me time to get through here today painting, and then we will make sure everything's in inventory so you can order. We've got shipments going out, so you can get in on that action. If there's something on the website that you wanted shipped that has to go by private carrier, right now's the time. I have a private carrier out coming in, going out, and I don't know if they've got room on the truck, but we're trying to find out. We've got something going cross country and potential for mid country. So if there's something on the website you absolutely loved, let's see if we can get you on the truck today. All right, I'm going to flip this around. And while this portion is drying, we will come in down here because this is all dry. We'll come in down here and we will do this bottom surface. And I know watching paint dry is not the most exciting activity that we could do today. Sometimes you just need to reel it back a little bit Slow it down. And Paint Therapy Thursday is all about that. We stay so busy all week long. There's so much happening. We need to stop right there. There's so much happening. And just this simple movement of the paint across the surface is very, very, what's the word? Calming, yes, but soothing more. There's something inherently soothing about recreating something, but just that movement of the paintbrush back and forth settles a whole lot of the anxiety that this world can cause. And I just don't do anxiety. I don't like the drama of the world very much. So, on today, grab your paintbrush, grab whatever color you like, and just rest. Just rest. God wants us to rest. Jesus instructed us to rest. We should rest. That's gonna look so good. Come on, dry. See, there's a little bit of pooling, and I can't really touch it because if I do, I'm gonna pull paint. Tell you what we can do. Let me scooch this because I'm wearing black and I will wear black and white. I'm gonna mist this upper portion where we have some pooling. And I'm gonna take my secondary brush. I'm gonna mist it as well. And we're gonna pull some of that excess. The reason I misted it is because if I had just put the dry brush to the drying paint, it would have pulled it and made an ugly mark. But with the dry brush and the little bit of moisture, it just pulled that extra paint right out of the areas where it was pooling. It did pull some of the paint. I'm so impatient. I need to stop, but I'm not going to. We're going to go back over those areas right there with our paint. Going to push it down into that relief. And then again, I'm going to mist my bristles. Did I spritz you? Sorry. And we're just going to move that paint back where it's supposed to be. And now we're going to leave it alone. I'm going to do this top edge. There we go. Bada boom. That is lovely. And I think once we get the white surface done, we will come in with our farmhouse navy or denim, one of those two. And we're just going to create a classic blue and white. And I think that's going to work out just fine on both pieces. We'll hit that high button and let it dry. Our other piece is sitting on the sidelines. It's drying pretty good. Let's see what we have. It's still damp. We can't touch it. So we'll let that be as well. In the meantime, there's got to be 10 more things I can put white paint on. And they're all within my reach. They are. But we're going to call this a day and we're going to let the paint dry because if I sit here, I'm going to pull that paint apart. we're going to let it dry. And then we are going to recoat our relief areas, our urn and our florals in Farmhouse Navy. And then we will come back in and touch up our cloud one more time and let it be. We will probably put a seal coat on it. We'll see. Let's see how it rocks out with the Farmhouse Navy on top of it. Should have already had one of them painted so we could have moved forward quickly today, but that would have required a couple of more hours of my daytime because I can't just paint one thing. You know, I have to paint like 10. So we'll do this and then we will do that. I see two pieces right beside me that I so could paint. Yes, they need some paint on them. They need some paint. We should do this. Since we're doing metal, we should do this. We're doing this. All right, I'm going to take these. I'm going to set them down. And then I'm going to take the fan, crank it up, and we're going to let those dry. We should do this. Now, this is a brand new surface. This is not old. This is a brand new surface, so I think it'll be okay, but you never know what kind of dust might be lingering on the surface that you can't see. So just take a quick second and go ahead and prep that piece so that once it is done, you don't have any issues with paint lifting or anything like that. I'm going to set that to the side. We're going to use this. And we're going to paint this galvanized. Just like that. It's been sitting there waiting. So today we might as well go ahead and do it. Because just painting, just putting color on is so simple and easy. And just like that, poof, she's done. I hope that's not my hair sticking out, but it probably is. Crazy hair. All right, she's been sitting there waiting too. So little spritzer, a little wipe down of all the surfaces we are going to touch with paint or stain. And now we'll go again with our cloud Rethink Junk Paint by Laura. Amazing, simple coverage, easy to use, durable. 54 colors, y'all. 54. That's a lot. And just like that, we're done. Poof. And I got a little bit on the side. So we'll just go ahead and wipe that off real quick. And I got some on this edge right here. So go ahead and wipe that clean. Boom. Now we'll swap galvanized for galvanized. set these down, not face down. Put down and we'll spin that fan around. Let's see who's dry. That's not dry. That's not dry. We're not dry. The humidity today is just killing my program, but it's okay. Thanks for being here. It's just a paint therapy Thursday, and we're going to let it ride. We're going to do some more projects, get some things cleaned up, get some room in this messy studio. We need some space in here. We'll get it done. Y'all have a beautiful day. Thank you for being with me this week. Keep an eye on our Facebook page for bundle offers on all the products that we have used this week. If there was something that you didn't have that you needed, let's get that to you. So keep an eye on Facebook for those bundle offers direct to our website and straight to you with post office mail. Yes. Have a beautiful weekend. We will not be here on Monday for Mixology Monday. We will pick up again on Tuesday. Blessed Memorial Day to our families who have loved lost ones in the pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness for all of us in the United States. Enjoy your extended weekend, but please do remember what our purpose is here. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. I will see you back here soon on Tuesday. Bye, y'all.